What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good week. Skater Talk with Ryan. I want to recap National Signing Day. First thing I want to say is this was a good transition class. Not the best, not what we hoped for, a little bit of a ho-hum day. I seen an article that said that the other day that fit perfectly. It wasn't exactly what we expected. Missed some calls on some of my picks. Got a couple right. Got the guys that I didn't think were coming to Florida right, which was pretty much everybody except for a couple three-star guys. I think this staff did a really good job with the time they had, 59 days until signing day. They didn't have a lot of options. They didn't have a lot of guys to choose from out of the state of Florida. Those guys were pretty much wrapped up in this class. So Billy in his press conference mentioned, they had to work with the cards they were dealt, and all those kids were out of state, and they all stayed home. So it makes sense. And even the home state schools missed on a bunch of prospects. We were competing with LSU for a lot of guys. They did get Harold Perkins, the linebacker, 5-star. He burned us. He trolled us a little bit, which I tried to make a video last night and screwed it all up. Phone died in the middle of it, but what I had said in the video was I can't stand the disrespect. These kids trolling these schools after these coaches put the time and effort, recruiting you and invest in you and everything as a young man, and then you go out and make a fool of yourself, putting hats on the table and switching hats. The games aren't cool. They're not fun. If you want to be a grown man, act like it's a business. Treat it like that. Don't treat it like it's a game or something. These guys, like I said, spend a lot of time, trying to get you to come to their school. At least have the integrity, in the discipline, to just show some respect and pick the school you want to pick. Don't lie to people. We were lied to by Trevante Citizen. He committed to the staff, then backed off. Just playing head games. We're going to get somebody better than him anyways. He wasn't a can't-miss recruit. Yeah, he was better than anything we had committed to us right now. I didn't pick him to come to Florida, but, he chose Miami, which is crazy. They're loaded at running back. They've got Chaney. They've got a bunch of backs down there. I don't know why he went there. He's going to have like 12 people at his football games to watch him play. Literally no one goes to a Miami game. I think the kid's going to regret it. He'll probably transfer in a couple years like half these kids do anyway. So, again, I'm not sweating that. He was the one that put the hat on, switch, put another hat on, switch, put another hat on, and so on, and then finally put the Miami hat on. And, there's all this smoke by the national analysts crystal balling him to Florida. Those guys don't know crap anymore. I have no faith in those crystal balls. They literally, will wait till the last second when it's obvious where a kid's going and put one in so they can keep their prediction percentage up. It's a joke. The rankings are still pretty legit with some of these guys. As far as the 5-stars go, they obviously screw stuff up. Seems like every time we get a commit, like Kamari Wilson, he was a 5-star when we got him, and then after he committed, he dropped to a barely outside the 5-star range at a 9.809 or something like that, so he's a 4-star. There's some bias there. It's obvious at this point. They come in and start telling everybody Citizen's coming to Florida, and that's what everybody was hearing, and crystal balling him there. He was never coming to Florida. The kid put that out there. That was bait, and they took it. He put it out there he was coming to Florida, so these writers and journalists would take it and act like they were insiders and they had where he was going and all this stuff. They had no idea where that kid was going. He basically just trolled everybody, trolled the analysts, trolled Florida. We were a bump in the road for him. He went to Miami on official and stopped by on the way to Miami at Florida for an unofficial visit. I don't know why people are so confident he was ever going to come. And so anyway, the class as a whole, 19th. It will be 16th, which I predicted top 15. Wasn't far off that. And again, I'm one spot off if we get Arliss Boardingham, the tight end out of Oregon. I predicted him to stick with Oregon. I still do. The Gators are confident. He's predicted to Florida now. But I don't think he comes to Florida. If he does, that's a solid transition class. Again, with the time we had to work with. Historically good, no. But comparatively to the last few classes, I think it's just as good as Mullins or any of the other guys. I think people are overreacting a little bit with the classes and, where we're ranked at right now. Yeah, it's not as good as we did miss on a lot of guys, but it could have been better. Again, so the smoke on Citizen, I think, was all fake. I don't think he was ever coming. I called it on defensive line, Caden Story. He did commit to Clemson. I heard Florida would have taken him if he wanted to come. His mom loved Florida. He didn't, though. He did go to Clemson. Hey, it's Clemson, top 10. They're just off national titles recently. It's going to take time, guys. Again, I wish we would have got him. He was a big-time position of need. Harold Perkins, the linebacker, was a huge position of need. We lost Hopper and Diabate. That hurts really bad, in my opinion. I think linebacker is one of the scariest spots on this team right now going forward. We just lost the best linebacker on our team. Sideline to sideline guy, that freaks me out. I don't know what's going to happen there. Ventral Miller is not a good linebacker. I'm sorry. A lot of people think he is. He's a good tackler. He's good at filling the hole, and he can hit. That's it. Guy's not fast enough, can't cover, can't get sideline to sideline. He was an average player out of high school. He's just not going to be an all-SEC linebacker. He's a good leader for the team. I'm glad he came back for leadership. And at this point, we need him because we're thin at linebacker. A lot of young talent right there. Scooby Williams, really good. I think he's going to produce. I think there's talent behind him. It's just not proven yet, so that's why it scares me. Same thing with defensive line. It's thin there. I think we need some transfers at defensive line after the spring ball. That's another thing Napier said. There's going to be a winter transfer portal season and a spring transfer portal season. That's new, kind of the dynamic of it now. So there's going to be constant turnover on the roster. And Billy mentioned that we are going to have several guys leave. No names yet. He just knows after spring, once they reevaluate, they're going to let some guys go. Guys are going to want to leave on their own accord. And they're probably going to hit the transfer portal to address some needs. That's where I think they go after wide receiver. That's a need. Defensive line, maybe another offensive lineman. Actually, I think offensive line's straight now because we got those guys, the recruits in the class, the high school class. I think we addressed that. Offensive linemen don't have to be 5 stars, guys. You can get a lowly 8-4, 3-star that no one was looking at and turn him into an NFL draft prospect. I just don't put much faith and stock in, if it's a 5-star kid, absolutely. Anything less than that, I don't care if it's a 3-star or a 4-star lineman. Those rankings, their offensive line is a projection spot. You cannot base it on athleticism out of high school and the talent at that level. Their bodies change so much. Again, it's a projection spot. You mold an offensive lineman. A receiver comes out of high school almost ready to go, besides learning some route trees and blocking. I mean, the athleticism is what makes him. So there's not a lot of projection spots like that, or a corner and stuff like that. Look at my notes here. So Bama did beat LSU. Like I said, LSU missed on a lot of guys. They missed on the tight end, Danny Lewis. He didn't go to LSU. So like I said, they missed on some guys too. I'm not scared of LSU staff going forward. I'm really not. Because Billy Napier in his press conference said 2023, we're locking down the state. We're going to work inside out from the state, outward. And I think he's going to get these Florida guys like Cedric Baxter, number 1 running back, Young, a lot of these guys. He's going to take these guys first, and go after them hard. He's already started. He's going to be evaluating right now. There's a dead period. Wrote that down till the 31st of March. They're allowed to contact these guys on phone, gaming, stuff like that. Other than that, it's all off-season work, evaluation, watching film. And then once it's over, they'll have some junior days and really hit the ground running on this 23 class. Do not judge Billy on this 22 class. There's a few concerns there. We got to call it like we see it. We can't sugarcoat everything. But again, I say give him time, to build these relationships. At 23, if it's anything less than a top 5 class, he won't be here in 4 years, and we'll be looking for another coach. Plain and simple. Because we're looking for championships in Florida. We're not looking for Sugar Bowls and New Year's Six and all that. That's just not the expectation anymore. Whether people think it's too high or not, that's where it's at. Tebow, Urban Meyer did that. Spurrier did that. Again, and even though Muschamp didn't win at a high level, he recruited top 5. Ron Zook didn't win at a high level, but he recruited top 5. A lot of Urban Meyer's guys were Ron Zook's guys. He won with Zook's players. A few of them he got, but for the most part, a lot of those guys, the juniors and seniors, when we won, were Ron Zook's players. So recruiting is everything. Let's see. Lost Perkins, talked about that. I'll talk about Perkins a little bit. So Perkins' mom wanted him to go to Florida. They had a job picked out for his mom. I mean, they worked this kid hard. They had a living situation set up for him and his mom. I mean, she was going to be well taken care of. I'm really shocked that the kid went to LSU, Billy Napier, groping and grinding on guys and videos, which is just disturbing as all get out. I still don't understand how any kid could ever want to go to the Corn Dogs and be at LSU. It's super weird. But anyway, so that he picked there. The dad and all his family ties are in Louisiana, so don't be shocked that he went there. But that's what won out in the end. He went with dad, went with the family ties, staying home. DJ Allen stuck with TCU. That's a big miss. We lost that battle. I feel like Florida should be able to beat TCU out, even if the kid is in Texas. So that one hurt. He was a big-time talent at wide receiver. We lost Jacoby Matthews to Texas A&M. Texas A&M's dropping bags, guys. Florida's got to step up with the UAA. They've got to pay these kids. That's where it's at now. That's where football is at. It's the future. It's all about money. It's a business now. It's not college football that we all love and cherish. It's tarnished the game, in my opinion. The NIL deals, basically, for Florida State, look, we hate Florida State, right? All right. I think it's hilarious as anybody else that they lost Travis Hunter, the number one quarterback, to Jacksonville State and Deion Sanders. But let's be real. If NIL wasn't a thing, that kid would have never went to Jacksonville State. He got paid $1 million to come to that school, and that's the only reason he did it. Take some kid, I don't care where, what the kid's background is, and you tell him, I'll give you $1 million, even a low-income, middle-class family, even a well-off family. You tell any kid I'm giving you $1 million, he's going. He's gone. He's not coming to your school. I don't care if, what it is. If it's Georgia Southern, Grambling State, you give me $1 million, I'm going there over Florida. And if Florida's going to say, well, hey, we got some good food, we're going to make you some peanut butter and jellies and pack your lunch. No, I'm going to take $1 million. I'm sorry. I don't care if I get Air Jordans or not. It doesn't matter. So, again, I think it's ruined college football. I can't stand it. They need to find a way to modify it. They've got to figure out a way to make the pay equal across the board and put a cap on it. There doesn't need to be all these deals for money. It needs to be a thing where, yeah, you can get sponsorships, get free clothes, get movie tickets, get food, like a food stipend, stuff like that. That's going to take care of the kids. Why do they need money? They're getting a free $100,000 college degree that no one else can get just because they're God-given abilities. Them kids are not owed anything. Work for it. We have become a society where we give everything away. Everybody deserves everything. It's unreal. It literally is going to ruin college football unless they modify it. Same thing with the transfer portal. There's no loyalty. It's just bounce. Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not starting. I'm a whiny, millennial. I'm bouncing later. So anyway, I got on a little bit of a rant there. I'm sorry, guys. I get fired up about that kind of stuff, man. I am, part of that generation, but at the same time, I wasn't raised like that. I don't understand how these kids can go to a school and bounce and make everything about money and all that and not want to work for anything. If you're talented, go to the NFL. Your connections from college are going to put you where you want to go. You're going to have connections for life from college. Professors, lawyers, all kind of doctors, to whatever field you go into. You're set for life, guys. Anyway, so I'll get off that rant and get back to recruiting. You could tell Billy was not happy with the class at all. He's happy with the guys that he got. We got Caleb Douglas. We beat LSU out for him. One side on 3 has him as a 4-star. Another side has him as a 3-star. I do think he'll produce. He high points the ball, fights through traffic, long strides, lean guy, straight line speed. We've talked about it before. Again, we beat them out for him. I think he's a good prospect. He's a position of need, but to only get one wide receiver, we're going to have to hit the portal. I do think there's talent on the team that we just haven't seen yet because of the way Mullen, played guys he shouldn't have been playing because of seniority. So we might see some surprises, I believe, next year, like Bowman and these guys are going to come out and we're going to be like, where the heck was this kid at? So, again, look forward to that. I'm hoping that's the case because if not, we're in trouble. I talked about the dead period coming up. Talk about DJ Allen. He's gone. He was a 4-star, so that was a bad loss. We took a lot of L's on the chin. I'll say that. One thing I didn't like is, we got one wide receiver. We're recruiting a kid out of Texas who was like a 90 average 4-star, DJ Allen. And then I don't understand this whole thing with or Gibson, the wide receiver we had committed, Chandler Smith, 2 highly rated 4-star guys, and you let them go, and that's a position of need, and then you target 2 other guys with similar skill sets, similar rankings, and one with a lower ranking. I don't care if they were Mullins commits or not. These kids, you could have reached out immediately, at least got to know them, and then if you didn't like them, cut bait. But don't just come in and not reach out to the current commits. That was a terrible strategy. That's a big knock I have on Billy and this staff to start with. I don't think they did a good job with that. I think they mishandled some guys early on. I know it was a short period. They didn't have prior relationships, and they want their guys. But still, you got to be smart about this, man. It's a talent acquisition business. Billy said it himself. So, again, that was a head-scratcher for me. I love Billy. Still excited about the hire. I think he's going to recruit top 5 in 23. Absolutely. I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but I'm also not going to sit here and act like, if there's something negative, we're going to talk about it. I'm not just going to act like everything's roses about, all the time with Billy Napier. If I see something negative, we're just going to get it out there, just like we did with Mullen. There's good and bad with every coach. Even Saban has his faults, but I'll take those rings any day. Let's see, spring game is April 16th. So y'all need to get down there for that. That's going to be a good time. We're actually going to have a spring game, not a circus or some kind of exhibition, goofball show. I don't know what you would call it. We didn't even have a spring game the last couple years. We did like a ESPN special or some stupid crap. They didn't even show anything. It was a joke. Florida's disappointed me with that big time. We were one of only 2 schools in SEC not to have a spring game last year. So hopefully we'll actually get to see the guys out on the field, let them run out, catch some balls, catch some passes, run the ball a little bit, at least show us something to be excited about, something to look forward to the season. Huge game opening up with Utah. That's going to be exciting. I would love to get that win. I think that would set the trajectory off in the right direction and kind of catapult us up, give us some big-time momentum. So, again, looking forward to the spring game. We did get 3-star Fiburn. I called him. He's a Gator. He's right on the cusp of being a 4-star guy. I think this is a guy like a Jordan Sherritt. We're going to look back in a few years. Big, thick guy, set the edge, run-stopping guy. I think he's going to play strong side defensive end is what I project him at. 200 tackles, 20 sacks. I mean, we beat out Auburn and Miami for the kid. Parents went to UF, so it was kind of an easy one to get. I mean, he was all about us. But again, that's a big get. I actually think this kid is going to be a 2-year starter, and I think he's going to the NFL. Like, I know this is getting a little ahead of myself here, but I kind of see some of that J.J. Watt in this kid. Like, this kid's going to be a stud. I'm calling it now. I don't know why. I just have a special feeling about him. I think he's going to be a stud. We did hold on to Jalen Farmer. Alabama was after him big time here at the end. I think this kid is going to be an incredible guard for Florida, and I can see him getting on playing time and on the field as a sophomore. He's a big kid, stays on his blocks, pancakes guys. He's going to be a really good guard. He was kind of a late bloomer, kind of got on the scene late. Bama came in late with an offer. We kind of beat Bama out. I think they kind of backed off at the end. He did go on an official visit there. I know Kentucky wanted him. So we kind of more beat Kentucky out than Bama. But again, we did hold him off. They came in late. He stuck with Florida because he felt comfortable with the Gators. So we did get to keep him in the class. And that's a very important offensive line prospect going forward. I personally think the entire offensive line, I said before, besides 2 guys, needs to be turned over. So hopefully these guys can come in and take their spots. Final ranking for the class, 247, 19th. 247 overall, if you include transfers, we're 17th in the country. Not bad. On3 is a newer site that's out there now. We're 25th. I think if you're going to go by rankings, go by 247. They're the most accurate. They've been around the longest. They're the most reputable. The other guys are kind of a joke. On 3, I still think is pretty good, but it's going to take them some time to adjust and settle in and kind of get a little more efficient at, ranking these guys. I think they've got us a little bit too low. Rivals has us at 24th. That's pretty good. I think that's about right between the 19 and 24th. ESPN has us at 32. ESPN's a joke, guys. ESPN has us there because it's ESPN. They've been terrible with recruiting for the last 10, 15 years. They don't know what they're doing. They got a guy that's doing recruiting probably, 1 hour of every week. He goes and looks at a guy. I personally think they just literally look at all the recruiting services. Oh, they got him at a 4-star. We'll put him at a 4-star. They don't have any evaluators. ESPN is just all about being woke now. So again, let's just not pay attention to anything those people say. They have no reputation. Again, they're no credibility at this point. National average is going to need to be top 4 going forward in these classes. First or second in the SEC. You need 3 to 4 5-star players and 17 blue chip players. I'm saying that is what we're going to need basically to win a national title. If we don't get that, guys, it's not going to happen. Statistics and math back it up. You need the top 5-star players. You need those top 100 guys. You need several of them. You need the difference makers on the team. Once you get outside the top 100, top 150 is still pretty big, but 150 up to about 600, those guys go to the NFL at the same rate. So again, that's why I'm not knocking taking ranked 4 something in the country. He's going to produce just as likely as a guy that's top 200, like an ETN. Trevor's going to be a good running back. I think people are sleeping on him. I think that kid's going to be a wrecking ball. I actually think he's going to be a better version of Dameon Pierce. So look forward to that, guys, because I think that kid is going to be a really good back for us. I'm not worried about missing on Citizen. I think we are stacked at running back. I don't see Linger doing anything. I hope he does, but I think Bowman is going to be an incredible beast. I think Montrell Johnson, I do think ETN's actually going to see the field next year. I think all 3 of those guys are going to get really good snaps next year and put up some good numbers. I think it's going to be a 3-man rotation. You're not going to see a single back get all the carries, which is kind of disappointing. I would love to see a guy just be a stud and just pound the rock with the same dude when he gets hot. I do think when someone gets hot, it won't be a Dameon Pierce anymore, where they take him out right when he gets going, which is super nice, to think about. So I think they'll keep the guys fresh, but if someone's hot, they're not going to pull them out of the game, guys. We're going to see a lot of different things. Billy Napier's not dumb. We're not going to get Knox anymore with Greg Knox's obnoxious running back rotation. Oh, man, sorry, I can't talk today, guys. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Excited about the guys we got. Let's look forward to 2023. As soon as spring practice starts, we'll start putting out some videos talking about spring. Talking about any new additions to the team. If Arliss Borningham comes out, I might make a short clip about that. Let me know what else y'all want to talk about, what kind of videos we can make, or I can make, and I'll put them together for y'all. Y'all have a good one.